There's a strange moment inside an airport that almost nobody talks about. That instant when you think you know what you're doing, but the airport quietly proves you wrong. You think it's just check-in, security, boarding, done. But the real traps, the ones that silently drain your time, money, freedom, control, are hidden in the ordinary things you've done so many times. They no longer feel like mistakes. That's the danger. The bad habits are disguised as routine. Because airports, unlike any other place we travel through, have their own rules, their own psychology, and their own way of punishing people who rely on autopilot. And almost everybody is still stuck in autopilot. Travel is a mirror. It shows you the world, but it also shows you yourself. What you feel, what surprises you, what challenges you. This is where the real stories live. Welcome to the journey. And today, we're diving into mistakes you're still doing at airports. I'm Adesh from WakaTravels.com, and this is how you travel smarter. Now here's why this matters. When travelers think about airport mistakes, they think tiny. Oh, maybe my bag is too heavy. Oh, maybe I should have charged my phone earlier. But the massive mistakes, the ones that cost you hundreds in unnecessary airport markup, the ones that destroy your boarding position, the ones that trigger extra screening, they're not the obvious ones. They're the ones baked into habit. They're the things you think you're doing right. And that's why most travelers have no clue how much time, money, comfort, and control they're giving away every single time they step into a terminal. Stay with me, because if you recognize even one of these, it changes everything. And the biggest one, the one almost everybody is guilty of, will show up at the very end. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, arriving at the airport on time instead of in control. People brag about arriving just on time, like it's some kind of intelligent move. But in airports, just in time isn't clever. It's self-sabotage disguised as confidence. Because airports don't reward efficiency, they punish fragility. And arriving on time is the most fragile travel strategy anyone can adopt. Here's the hard psychological truth. When you arrive on time, the airport owns you. When you arrive early, in control, you own the airport. Most travelers don't understand this because in the normal world, saving time feels like winning. We compress tasks. We minimize errands. We optimize routes. We feel accomplished shaving minutes off drives and routines. But airport time doesn't work like real-life time. Airport time is a chain reaction of unpredictable variables. One tiny disruption delays the entire chain. Check-in queues aren't slow because airline agents are lazy. They are slow because everyone ahead of you is having their own tiny meltdown. Baggage exceptions. Visa confusion. Document mismatched names. Someone arguing about laptop size. Someone who swears their toiletries are under 100 ml until they're not. You can't predict the chaos of others, so the only defense is margin. The real mistake is not just arriving late. It's believing the start of your journey is the departure time printed on your boarding pass. But seasoned travelers know the real critical moment is check-in cutoff, which often closes full minutes before boarding even begins. That is the cliff edge. And the cost of being late isn't just stress, it's financial bleed. Rushed travelers buy overpriced bottled water. Rushed travelers panic buy airport snacks. Rushed travelers speed walk, sweating, drawing extra TSA attention. Rushed travelers forget to empty pockets, take off belts, remove electronics, slowing scanners. Rushed travelers overpack their carry-ons with liquids they forgot to check, and now lose them at screening. Late equals expensive. Late equals suspicious. Late equals chaotic. Early equals empowered. Because the trick is not spending more time in airports, it's relocating that time to after security, where the uncertainty ends. Control isn't about arriving sooner. Control is about arriving immune. If this is already challenging what you thought was smart travel, hit that subscribe button now because we're about to go even deeper. The next mistake? Most travelers make it before they even step into the security scanner, and it destroys their comfort for the entire flight. Mistake number 2, wearing the wrong clothes. Through security, most travelers think airport discomfort comes from bad seats, overpriced food, or lack of legroom. No, the majority of discomfort begins before the flight, at the security checkpoint, when travelers wear clothing that sabotages them. Think about the chain. Security checks you. Security checks your clothes. Security checks your pockets. Security checks your shoes. Security checks your electronics. Clothing becomes an obstacle, not an outfit. And bad clothing choices trigger friction in every micro-slice of the airport process. Heavy boots equals time-consuming removal. Layered jackets equals delays during scanning. Metal jewelry equals alarm triggers. Complicated belts equals rescans. Bulky pockets equals pat-downs. Messy carry-on pockets equals bin overload. Hoodies pulled overhead equal face scanning slowdowns. Airports are designed to punish complexity. But travelers show up dressed for style, not strategy. People wear outfits like they're walking into brunch, not a forensic filtration environment. The most intelligent travelers dress for frictionless flow. Slip-on shoes, zero metal belts, minimal layers, one easy pocket for passport, liquids pre-planned, electronics positioned for fast removal. Airport screening is not fashion time, it's operational time. Less complexity equals less suspicion, equals less friction, equals less stress. And here's the deeper secret. Security machines don't detect danger. They detect difference. Anything unusual, bulky, dense, layered, or irregular equals flagged. Clothing can literally tell security. Pull me aside. The irony? Most travelers think airport comfort is about how they feel on the plane. But comfort actually begins on the floor before boarding. The more efficiently you move through security, the more calmly you step into the terminal zone of control, and the more emotionally regulated you are as you approach boarding. Your flight experience is shaped by the state you enter the gate with. The next mistake is even more expensive, because it happens after you clear security, and it silently drains money from 80% of travelers without them even realizing it. Mistake number 3, buying airport water and just one snack. Airport retail is engineered for psychological exploitation. Travelers think they're freely choosing snacks and drinks before boarding, but the airport retail layout is literally reverse designed from emotional vulnerability mapping. Think about when you arrive post-security. Your brain has just survived stress. It craves reward. It craves safety. It craves comfort. Food equals validation. Water equals control. And the airport knows that. So they put bottled water front center, not because it's needed, but because it's the most profitable low-conflict transaction in the entire travel economy. And just one snack is the most common consumer self-permission phrase globally. Airport food vendors monetize that phrase. You've probably whispered it to yourself before a flight. Everyone has. And the airport makes 5x markup because in that moment, you're not buying water, you're buying emotional stability. But here's the actual smarter system. Bring your own empty bottle. Every major airport has free water refill stations after security. People think airport water stations are dirty, but the water in most Western airports is more regulated than bottled water brands. You're not saving $3. You're saving the emotional manipulation pipeline. Because the danger isn't the one purchase, it's the habit pattern. Travelers who buy airport water and snacks start to justify every impulse purchase after that. Small leaks eventually become financial identity. And here's the cliffhanger. The real airport spending trap isn't snacks. It's what happens at the gate. We're about to expose the biggest boarding time mistake that almost every traveler makes. and it destroys the power dynamic before you even get on the plane. Mistake number 4. Sitting at the gate. Too early and losing boarding position psychology. Most travelers rush to the gate as soon as they see the gate number, and then they just sit. They sit like the gate is a waiting room, not a strategic battlefield. But here's the secret very few travelers realize. The gate area is the final zone of leverage. Airlines manipulate boarding psychology. They announce groups and zones not because it's the most efficient system, but because it controls crowd momentum. Most people who sit early at the gate end up boarding late because they allow the group announcements to dictate their physical movement instead of controlling their own. Comfortable seats near the gate trick the brain into passive mode. You suddenly stop monitoring the zone flow. You stop observing how many people are lining up. You stop reading body language cues of other travelers. And then, when your group is called, you get up too slowly, and you lose boarding position. And losing boarding position means losing overhead bin space. And losing overhead bin space means either gate checking your carry-on or cramming it vertically under the seat in front of you. Losing legroom, losing comfort, sacrificing flight quality. The airport is brutal to the passive. Smart travelers don't sit like trapped passengers. They stand like decision makers. Good travelers position themselves close to the boarding lane before their group is called. Not in the lane, but in range. Because anticipation creates access, and access creates choice. You get overhead bin space in your optimal row, not the leftover corner 3 rows back. You get to place your bag above your own seat, not 10 rows behind you where you'll need to swim upstream after landing. Gate comfort is a trap. Gate positioning is a strategy. The people who stand casually near the boarding lane, those are the ones who board with power, not panic. Before we continue, if this video is already opening your eyes to how airports psychologically shape your behavior, smash the subscribe button now. Because the next mistake is something almost everyone does with good intentions, and it still ruins their entire boarding efficiency. Mistake number 5. Boarding too early. When you don't need to, everyone assumes the first people on board win. No, that's not always true. Boarding early is only beneficial if you need overhead bin space, you have special seating needs, you have elite status priorities, you want to set up your space before crowding. If none of those apply, boarding early actually forces you to lock yourself into the worst part of the flight, dead time inside a sealed aircraft. You sit in a metal tube, breathing recycled air. Standing up becomes harder. The air feels heavy. The aisles are cramped. And you're stuck watching everyone else file in. Why would you punish yourself with that? Smart travelers board strategically, not anxiously. If you have guaranteed bin space, or if your seat is pre-assigned near the middle or window, boarding early traps you in a stagnant waiting environment for no reason. Boarding late, when done intentionally, gives you freedom of movement right up until the last possible moment where your comfort still remains protected. The key is this: don't board early because you feel fear. Only board early because you have a reason. If you aren't boarding with purpose, you are boarding a victim of momentum. And airports prey on momentum. This next mistake is subtle but deadly, because even after people board, they bring the wrong thing into the cabin. And that one mistake destroys the quality of the entire flight, physically and mentally. Mistake number 6, bringing all entertainment on phone instead of distributed attention. Most travelers board with one device only, their phone, and they trust that phone to carry their entire sensory world for 6+ hours of flight time. That is a mistake. Long flights destroy focus. Cabin environments trigger sensory fatigue. Phone viewing distances force neck tension. Battery anxiety creeps in. Seat posture shifts. And because the entire entertainment experience is micro-screen-based, the brain can't rhythm shift, so time feels slower. Smart travelers know that long travel requires attention distribution, not attention compression. The trick is to bring 2-3 mediums. One light analog item, book, wash magazine, scribble pad. One digital passive, downloaded doc, offline article. One screen entertainment, movies, watch shows, light scrolling. This creates cognitive rotation, which makes time move faster and reduces mental fatigue. Because the worst part of phone-only entertainment isn't boredom, it's biofeedback. Your brain starts craving dopamine spikes, so you scroll, but scrolling produces micro-stress, so the flight becomes psychologically exhausting. Phones are dopamine traps. Planes amplify that. The next mistake? It might be the most financially painful one of all, because almost everyone still believes duty-free shopping is a deal. It's not. Mistake number 7. Thinking duty-free is automatically a deal. Almost every first-time international traveler gets hypnotized by duty-free. The bright lights, the shiny packaging, the luxury branding, the big tax-free claims, the illusion of bargain. Duty-free looks like a discount playground, but in reality, it's a psychology trap engineered to trigger indulgent spending impulses at the exact moment when travelers are emotionally fragile. Duty-free is not about deals. Duty-free is about margin. Duty-free is positioned after security because this is the moment where travelers have the highest financial compliance rate. You just survived scanning. You feel relieved. You passed the stress test. Your brain wants reward. That's when retail manipulation works best. Most duty-free items are not cheaper. Most are priced in a sterile range where comparison is impossible. Because in airport reality, the buyer can't compare. No browsing multiple stores, no price check apps, no scanning codes, no walking away to shop elsewhere. You're trapped behind security. Duty-free knows that isolation equals conversion. And the biggest sucker category isn't perfume, it's alcohol and chocolates. Duty-free uses global exclusives to mask markup. Limited edition packaging is not about rarity. It's about hiding the fact the content is the same product you could have bought cheaper at a normal supermarket back home. Smart travelers don't buy convenience. Smart travelers buy value. And duty-free rarely sells value. Duty-free sells theater. The next mistake is even more costly because it doesn't just waste money. It creates friction with immigration and border control, and most travelers have no clue that they're sabotaging themselves before they even reach passport stamping. Mistake number 8. Filling out immigration forms. Sloppily, small handwriting errors can destroy entire travel plans. Immigration officers do not care why you rushed. They don't care that you were tired. They don't care that your handwriting was sloppy. Every stroke of ink is scanned for clarity, consistency, and compliance. Immigration is not a friendly welcome desk. It's a filtering mechanism. People sabotage themselves by writing in cursive when forms require print, entering flight numbers incorrectly, mixing up home address versus hotel stay address, misspelling the destination city, not matching exact passport spelling, crossing out mistakes instead of writing fresh. Border control doesn't interpret. Border control verifies. One crossed out box, one number overwritten, one signature style mismatch, and suddenly your entry is not clean, and not clean means secondary questioning, or worse, delay or denial. Mistake number 8 isn't just paperwork, it's social engineering. You are signaling whether you are a simple process traveler or a potential complication. Immigration officers profile handwriting clarity. That is not a myth. That is standard. Write forms like your future depends on the pen, because sometimes it does. The next mistake is subtle, and it doesn't get you delayed or denied, but it ruins the arrival window and sets your entire destination time zone adjustment backwards. Mistake number 9. Sleeping immediately after landing. Your biological clock is the engine of travel. Landing is not the moment to collapse into sleep, even though your body begs for rest, especially on long-haul flights. If you sleep too soon after landing, you destroy phase alignment. Your brain anchors the new time zone based on the first activity block you give it upon arrival. If you nap immediately, your body thinks it's still in the old zone and refuses to recalibrate. This is what causes multiple-day jet lag. Smart travelers push themselves into the new time zone rhythm. Immediately. Arrive, unpack, shower, eat light, move your body, stay awake until local bedtime. The goal is not to feel good instantly. The goal is to adjust fast. And initial fatigue is not the enemy. Delayed adjustment is. Napping early equals intensity increases later. Staying awake equals pain first, comfort later. Your first 6 hours in destination define the entire trip's energy. The next mistakes are the final 3. And those last 3 are the ones that separate casual tourists from power travelers. Mistake number 10. Not preparing ground transportation before landing. One of the easiest ways to destroy your first 3 hours in a new country is landing without any transportation strategy. Most travelers just figure it out when they get there. That phrase is expensive. Airports are designed to charge premium on time pressure. The slower you move after landing, the more you pay. Taxi drivers at airports love unprepared travelers because unprepared equals desperate. Desperate equals price blindness. Airport taxis in most major cities inflate prices by 30%, 300% for travelers who arrive without options. And rideshare apps? Surge pricing is highest at exact hours when international flights land, because that's when demand spikes in a tight geographic zone. Smart travelers pre-decide which app they will use, what typical fare should cost, where the pickup zone is, whether to choose public transport versus rideshare versus taxi, whether to take express train into city center. If you land and then start researching transport, you are already prey. Choose your transportation strategy before boarding your flight, not after stepping onto foreign soil. Time spent researching on the plane equals money saved on the ground. The next mistake is emotional, and it destroys memory, not money. Mistake number 11. Filming everything instead of experiencing it. Travelers don't realize that the moment you default to the camera, you stop being inside the moment. You become an archivist, not a participant. Most people don't travel anymore. They create content about traveling. Every second of life becomes footage, and the actual experience is lost in the editing of the experience. The tragedy is this: you can watch the trip later, but you cannot feel the trip later. And airports amplify this because airports make you feel like every moment is significant. Like, this is worth capturing, but the best airport memories aren't cinematic. They're subtle. They're the tiny observations, the shift in behavior, the realization of how different cultures move, the quiet moments of noticing yourself. Your story isn't the recording. Your story is the sensation. Travel is sensory, not just visual, and the camera hijacks sensation. Smart travelers film strategically, not compulsively. The final mistake is the deepest, because it's the one that defines whether travel becomes transformation or just movement. Mistake number 12. Treating travel like escape instead of expansion. Some travelers secretly travel to run away from their life, instead of growing inside it. Travel becomes a distraction, not evolution. But travel is not anesthesia. Travel is confrontation. Airports are thresholds. Going through them is metaphor. Crossing identity, shedding old frames, entering new maps mentally and physically. But if travel is handled like escape, nothing changes. The traveler returns home the same, just more tired, more broke, more drained, more unrooted. Smart travelers don't travel to forget their life. They travel to reflect on it. The airport is not a doorway out. It's a doorway through. And the difference between escape and expansion is one question. What part of myself am I meeting in this new environment? Because the world doesn't change you. unless you show up willing to be changed. So now here you are at the end of this breakdown. And notice something important. These airport mistakes were never just about airports. They were about awareness. They were about how environments, especially high-stress ones, quietly shape our behavior, our spending, our comfort, our timing, our psychology. Because travel, when done unconsciously, steals more than money. It steals presence. Airports are not just logistical hubs. They are emotional amplifiers. They reveal how we react under pressure. They expose our routines. They show whether we move reactively or intentionally. They reflect who we are, not who we pretend to be. And that's the entire point. Travel is not escape. Travel is evolution. Airports are the first chapter of that evolution. The initiation, the threshold, the mirror you pass through before the new version of you meets a new place. The moment before the world asks, "Who are you really?" when everything familiar is temporarily stripped away. Most travelers never realize that travel mastery isn't about being lucky at airports. It's about being mindful in them. So if you're watching this and you learned even one new thing, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is here to make you a smarter traveler, not a distracted one. Share this video with someone who still makes these mistakes, because sometimes one tiny shift in habit can change an entire journey. You don't need more hacks. You need better awareness. And if nobody ever told you this before, I'll say it clearly right now. Travel doesn't reward the loudest traveler. Travel rewards the most prepared. I'm Adesh from WakaTravels.com, and this is how wet ravel smarter. And as always, your journey doesn't start when you land. Your journey starts at the airport.